Kadosh, Boker Or, Masechet Bava Metzia Daf Amud Aleph 6a1. We were just speaking about in the Gemara when it says, Ve'la'ad Amar Rav Nachman. We were talking about what happens if right now the one that's suspected of stealing is also suspected of swearing falsely. So you remember, he says, Hada Amar Rav Nachman, Mashbin Oto Shavua Teset, that we're going to come and we're going to make it Shavua Teset. Name Amigu de Chashida Mamona Chashida Shvuata. Why don't we just say Amigu? What's Amigu? Amigu is going to be that if right now he's going to be suspected on money, he's going to be suspected also on the Shavua. The two, and furthermore, Hadatani Rebchia, that which Rebchia came and he taught, Shnehem Nishbaim V'Notlim Mi Balabait, that the Chenveni and the Poel are going to swear and take from the Balabait. Name Amigu de Chashid Mona Chashid Shvuata. Since he's going to be Chashud on Gezel, so he's going to be Chashud also on the Sheket also, that he's going to swear. You remember that case one more time. The case was that a person comes and he tells the Chenvani, tells the storekeeper, pay my employees. Right? He goes and Keilu he pays the employees, but all of a sudden the employees said that they never accepted the money, and the storekeeper said that he paid the employees. They both swear to the Balabait and they both take money from the Balabait. So the same thing. If they're going to be suspected for stealing, they should be suspected. They're going to swear falsely. That's a migu? Yes, that's migu. Right? Migu means that since if I'm going to say A, I'm also going to say B. Meaning that if he's already going to steal, why wouldn't he swear falsely? The two, and furthermore, Hada Amar Rav Sheshat, that which Rav Sheshat says, Shalosh Shavua Mashpin Oto. Right? When you have a Shomer Chinam, that he says that it was stolen. Remember, an unpaid custodian, Shomer Chinam, he comes and he says that the pikadon that he had was stolen, and therefore he's going to be patur. He has to make 3 shivuot. Shivua shelo pashati ba. Shivua number 1, he did not do a pshia. Because if he was negligent, he does have to pay. Remember, a shomer chinam, since he's not paid, he's patur from whether it's onsim or gneva v'aveda, if it gets stolen or lost, but he's chayav for negligence. I mean, you can't be negligent. Okay, I'm watching it for free, but I can't be negligent. That's a pshia, you're chayav. So shivua number 1, that you do not do pshia. Shivua number 2, shelo shalachti bayad. I didn't use it whatsoever. Because if I used it, so now what happens is now I'm going to be chayav. Exactly. It's not shomer chinam. If you used it, right, which you're not allowed to, but let's say I did use it, right? So then obviously that's it. Everything changes. Okay? What does that mean?
You give the example with a auto, puncture.
No, that's meta mechama melacha. Completely different world. One more, and that's a shoel. That's not a shomer chinam. Kvodo, that's a shoel. Shoel is a borrower. If I borrow your car and then I come, not shomer chinam. Shomer chinam is not a shoel. I borrow, it means I'm supposed to use, right? Shomer chinam, I'm not supposed to use it. The second I use it, I'm chayav. Even if it's stolen afterwards. It was stolen. I'm chayav. I'm not a shomer chinam anymore. Yeah? Shoel is different. I borrow your car. I'm driving the car normally, and then it gets a puncture. That's not my problem. That's called meta mechama melacha. That is shoel, borrower, not shomer chinam. Shomer chinam, you're not supposed to use the car. You put me the car in my driveway. You say, listen, can you do me a favor? Can you watch the car? I'm not allowed to drive it. If I drive it, now I become chayav if it gets lost or stolen. What?
I'm a shomer chinam. I use the object.
That's it. The second you use the object, you're not a shomer chinam anymore. Right? That's what we're saying. You don't have the status quo of a shomer chinam.
During the time that I use it,
and then 5 minutes later it gets stolen. Now, if you would not have used it, you're patur. Now that you used it, you're chayav. So that's why you have to make a shivua on this as well. So shivua number 1, I wasn't negligent. Because if you're negligent, you're going to be chayav. Number 2, shivua, you didn't use it. Because if you did use it, you're going to be chayav. Number 3, shivua she'ena birshuti. It's not in my possession. What does that mean? That it was actually stolen from his properties. And therefore that he's not lying, right? In the fact that he's saying that he's keeping it for himself, obviously. Okay? So now, right? Okay. Here in the footnote, he actually says that the shivua also, this shivua includes the shivua of the story that took place. Meaning that in this shivua is also the shivua that, for example, let's say he said that it was stolen, or somebody came in the middle of the night and they breached in and he broke and this, So that Shavua is included in the third Shavua, which is that it's not in my possession. Okay? So now he says the same thing. Neima migu de chashida mamona, chashida shavuata. Why don't we say the same yisod? Migu that what? That you're going to be suspected on money. You're suspected on a shavua. If you right now, you don't really care about somebody else's money, and you're going to steal. So what's going to stop you now from swearing in order to get, right, that money? So answers the Gemara, ela barather, lo amrina migu de chashida mamona chashida shavuata. It comes out that here we see that you do not say such a migu. Meaning, not because you're suspected of stealing money, it means that you're going to be suspected on swearing falsely. Right? That means even if it could be, right, you might steal, you won't swear falsely. It's like it's a different category. You understand? Meaning that it could be that people will steal, but to swear falsely, a lot of people won't do that. Yeah, that's what the Gemara says. Okay? So now the Gemara says, okay, Abaye says, Chayshinan, right? Really, be'emet, it's not the Shavua of the Mishnah according to like what Rabbi Yochanan just said now, that we're going to come and we're going to suspect, right, each one of stealing or not stealing. He comes and he says, Ela Chayshinan shema milve yeshana yesh lo alav. We're going to suspect that maybe, right, one of the people, they have already a loan, which was an old loan by him. And since he knows that he forgot about it and he's not going to admit to it, what he does is he grabs the friend's talit and he says, right, that this, meaning he justifies himself. And he says, listen, right, I went and I lent John Doe money a long time ago. Yeah, he completely forgot about it. And therefore, even if I would actually come and tell him, pay me up, he's not going to do it. So what does he do? He does something very, very smart. Listen to what he does, right? He comes and he sees all of a sudden an opportunity and he grabs the talit, right, of John Doe, and now they both come into Bedin, right, with the talit. Now, he's saying to himself, why did I grab the talit? It is mine, because of my old debt. Now, but if I'm going to come and I'm going to demand my old debt, I'll never get a penny. I'll never get nothing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab, and I'm going to grab this, and now this is mine now. Yeah, and that's the so says the Gemara, Ihachi, one second. If that's the case, that really be'emet we're talking about that we suspect that there was an old debt, nishkul below shavua. So therefore, he should take it without a shavua. Why do we come and we say that if you do such a thing, you have to come and you have to make an hour shavua? So says the Gemara, no, you're right. Because if it was 100% that I did loan him money, just he doesn't remember and therefore he doesn't want to pay me back, so why do I have to swear for that? So he says, Ela chashinan shema safek milve yeshana yesh lo alav. He says, but rather we're going to suspect that maybe one of the people that are grabbing onto the talit in order to collect an old chov, right? He comes and he says, if right now he doesn't know that for sure he owes him money, so for sure he's not allowed to grab money with safek. So therefore we come and we put him on a shavua because of that safek. Which means not that for sure he lent him money. There's a safek milve. Meaning, I think I lent you money 5 years ago, and you probably forgot about it, and now I can't collect. So what am I going to do? I grab the talit, and therefore I'm going to say that I'm going to pay myself back. But one second, but it was a doubt. So he says, because it was a safek, now you have to swear. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Because it's a safek. Right? Wasn't for sure. If it was for sure, technically, yeah, you should take even without a shavua. But since we're not really sure, right? I couldn't understand. So says the Gemara, Velav amrinan tafis mamona misfeika mishtaba nami misafek. He says, one second, but I thought that anybody that's going to take money from your friend, he's also going to take a misafek. So Amar Rav Sheshat bered Ravidi, says Rav Sheshat in the name of Ravidi, Parshe inche misafek shavua velo parshe misafek mamona. A person will go away from a safek shavua, but he won't go away from a safek of mamona. Meaning, if you right now, what was the case? The case was that you don't even remember if you actually lent him the money or not. It's a safek milve. Somebody will not stay away from that. Meaning that even if it's safek, they'll take it. They'll take the money. Why? Safek. He probably owes it to me. He'll take it. But if you're going to tell him, one second, make a shavua on that safek, that he won't do. Yeah, that he won't do. That already is too much. Yeah, that's already, it crosses his line. That he won't do. Okay. So says the Gemara, Velava, right? Right. So he says Velava Mninan, right? That what the Tafis Mamonim Misafek B'Shabbat Namin Safek. So Amar Rav Sheshat. Rav Sheshat says the name of Ravidi Parsha Inche Misafek Shuvah V'Lo Parsha Misafek Mamona. My time out reasoning. Mamon ita b'chazara. Because if it does happen that at the end you found out that really be'emet it's not true, you can always give back the money. He says Shivua leta b'chazara. You can never retract on the Shivua. Meaning once you made a Shivua, Kaddish, that's it. That doesn't matter. No, there's no such thing. No. Remember, Hatarat Nedarim is that you make a neder to fulfill something, and then you come and you do a Hatarat Neder that you do not do it. If you swear that you did not steal something, right? Or you swear that this is yours, how do you undo that swear? Hatarat Neder that I didn't swear, you did swear. It's not that on the future that I'm not going to do something, right? No. This is on the past. There's no such thing as Hatarat Nedarim on the past. Hatarat Nedarim is something on the future. Yeah? I'm being matir a neder. You have a neder ongoing, right? And now you're being matir this. This is something completely different, right?
The case of the husband who do a tarat nedarim for the thing that the woman did the nedarim before.
No. The case of the husband is that the husband listens to the neder and immediately he does the hafarat nedarim. And there's a big difference between hafarat nedarim and hatarat nedarim. Hafara is that it uproots a completely that never existed, even without a reason. Hatarat nedarim, you need a reason to be matir the neder. It's mikanu laba and it's from the chachamim. You cannot do it with the husband. It has to be 3 rabbis, right? Or 1 rabbi and the thing, but it has to be 3 people. Okay? So says the Gemara, By Rabbi Zera, Asa Zera, and now we're going to start, right, an interesting sugya. Yeah, so by Rabbi Zera comes and he asks the following question. If after they came to the Bedin, takfa echad, right, which means one of them grabs it and he takes it out, befanenu. What's the halacha? Yeah, so one more time. 2 people coming to the Bedin, they're holding it, and all of a sudden when they're Bedin, boom, one of them grabs it out. Yeah? What happens now? Do we say that at the end of the day, right, he doesn't have to swear anymore, right? Or do we say no, each one still takes half with a shivua? Yeah? Okay. So says the Gemara, Hechidami, what's the case? Shatik, if we're talking about that he kept quiet, so do you do lem? So maybe he's admitting that bemet it's not his. He just let it go. V'ide katzavach, now if he's screaming, what do you want him to do more? Right? Since he was moche, so if you can't use that as a proof that it's yours, right? That's it. He made a mecha. So answers the Gemara, lo tzricha, what are we dealing with? The shatik meikara, when he grabbed it away, he kept quiet. The hadar tzavach, but then afterwards he started screaming. My what's halacha? Midi ishtik, from the fact that he kept quiet, or do we say that he was actually admitting to him? Or Dilmar, maybe he came into Katzav Chasha since he's screaming now. It's because Gilai Minta, the Shatik Meikara, right? Savar, Hakachazul Rabbanan. He thought, listen, the rabbis were watching. So I'm not going to, like, why do I have to do anything? I'm saying it's right in front of the Bedin. Right? They know that we came into the Bedin, both holding together. Huh? The Bedin is Edim, it's not Ed. Yeshlo Dayanim, No, the Bedin. The Bedin are watching them. Right? He says, Hakachazule Rabbanan. Rabbanan is not one rabbi. Rabbanan. Right? Rabbanan are rabbis. Yeah? So, Amar Rav Nachman, says Rav Nachman, Tashema, we're going to come and we're going to bring a proof from a Braita. The Braita comes and it says like this. Bamed vanim murim. When are these words? Right? Keshishne madukimba. Only if both of them are grabbing onto it. Avalaita talit yotzed mitachet yedo shel hachamen. But if it's going to be under one of them, meaning, right, from the fact that the Braita is coming and saying Yachloku, is talking about that they're both grabbing onto it, but that's going to be that they went into in front of the Bedin, right? So therefore, but if Be'emet, only one of them came in front of the Bedin holding it, so says what's the case? If you're going to tell me that that's the case of the Braita, so obviously, Pshita, but rather one of them grabbed it in front of us. And on this, the Braita is saying, meaning you grabbed it, now it's coming upon him to come and bring a proof that it's his. Yeah, that's what we want to say. Answers the Gemara, No. We're not going to say that. Yeah, lo. Hacham ma'eskina, what are we dealing with? Kegon datu lekaman kedetfisu lu tervayu. They came in front of us when they were both grabbing on. Ve'amrina lehu zilu plogu. So we told them, divide it. Ve'nafku, they went out. Ve'hadar atu kitafis lachad minayhu. And then, right, they came when only one of them is holding it. So Hayamar, this one came and he said, that he came and he admitted to me that it's mine. Hayamar, and he says, Bedamea gartini ali. Right? I went and I rented it out to him, and therefore I didn't do anything. You understand? The guy pulled the fast one. They come out of the bedin, they have to divide it. All of a sudden, the guy comes and he says, listen, do me a favor. Half of it is supposed to be yours. I'm going to rent it from you. How much is it? $5, whatever it is. Here's $5. He comes running back into the bedin. He comes and he says, listen, this guy just came and he admitted that it's mine. The other guy comes in. He says, what are you talking about? You just rented it from me. Yeah? That we're going to tell him, until now you come and you suspected that he was a gazlan because that's what you said. And now you're going to come and you're going to rent it out to him without witnesses? Everyone understood what Bedin just told him. Exactly. If you suspect that he's a gazlan, because that's what you just said. You just said that this is my talit, me'achuz, and all of a sudden now you're coming and you're saying you're renting it out to him, and now it's without a din?
You can say also, the agree is 50-50.
So says the Gemara, v'bait ema kedektani, or if you want we could answer, just like we learned, te'atu lekaman kitafis la'chaminayu. That really be'emet, it was when one of them was there, right? Which means that one of them grabbed it. Okay? And it says over here, Ve'idach mesarach basruche. And the other one is grabs a little bit of it. Yeah, he doesn't have the half. You know what I'm saying? So that means the first one, he's completely grabbing on. The other one is like, he's got a little tiny, like kilu, he's trying to hold on, as they say. Va'afilu lesumchus, and even according to sumchus that he says, Mamon mutab mesafek cholukim lo shavua, that whenever you have money in a safek, you divide it without a shavua. He says, no, here it's nothing. Meaning, if I'm grabbing onto the majority of the talit and you just have a corner, that's nothing. Achizan, the corners are nothing. If you're grabbing onto the, half, that's something. But if you're just grabbing onto, nothing. Okay?
Sorry, Rabbi. You said, the Baita said...
So until now, we're talking about a case where two of them, they come into Bedin and then one of them grab it. What happens if one of them doesn't grab it, but one of them makes it Hekdesh? Yeah? Even if you're going to come and you're going to tell me Takvaicha befanenu, that if one of them comes and he grabbed it in front of us, Motzin otom yodo, we still take it out of his hands. What happens if it's Hekdisha? If he made it Hekdesh? Right? Without grabbing it. Ena, right? Mekudeshet. It's not going to be Hekdesh, right? Because obviously Hekdesh is not any worse than grabbing it. Now, if you're going to tell me that somebody grabbed it in front of us, right? And that we're not going to take it out of his hands. What happens if you made it Hekdesh even without grabbing it? What's halacha? Is it going to be Chada Hekdesh, right? Or not? So that's the different questions that we have. So says the Gemara, let's try to explain the Safek. And the Gemara says like this. Yeah, Kevan Daman Mor, since Mor says, Amirato legavoa kimsirato leediot dami, which means that when you come and you say that something is going to be Ekdesh, it's like Keilu you already gave it over. So it's like Keilu that you grabbed it. Or Dilmar maybe, Hashtami alotakfa, you didn't grab it. And it says, V'ish ki agdisha beto kodesh, ma beto birshuto, avkol birshuto, la pukai de lo birshuto. Meaning like this, one more time. Right? What were we talking about? We were talking about two people coming to the Bedin. And then the way that we started the Gemara now was, one person grabbed it. So we said, depends. Does he keep quiet? Is he screaming? Okay, fine. What happens if, right, he comes and he made it Hekdesh without grabbing it? So do we say that the making of the Hekdesh, right? No, that's the second part. It's like Keilu that he grabbed it. Because the second that he says that this is Hekdesh, it's Keilu, it goes to Hashem. It goes to Hekdesh, and therefore that's it. So it's Keilu that he grabbed it. Or maybe I say that when you make Hekdesh, it has to be yours. Just like Beito. And therefore, if it has to be yours, You're not allowed to make this Ekdesh. So you guys go like the second
אי אפשר לעשות
second
הקדש
ספק.
למשהו שהוא לא שלך.
Yeah.
You must be the owner to make something English.
Okay. Says the Gemara, Tashema, let's try to bring a proof.
When he steals from him, and
Tashema, so we're going to try to bring another proof. Deahi, yeah, masuta dehavu mansu ale betre. Okay, so there was a merchatz, right? We're talking about now a bathhouse. And what happened was that there were two people that they were arguing on this bathhouse. Hayamar, this person comes and he says, Didihu, it's mine. Vehayamar, another one says, Didihu, it's mine. Okay, fine. Kam chad minayhu, akdisha. So one person comes, right? And what happens? He's makdish et zeh. So parshemina, so therefore they stopped, this is Rav Chananya Rav Oshia, the Kulu Rabbanan, they came and they stopped using it. Why? Once it's Ekdesh, right? You're not allowed to come and you're not allowed to benefit from it. That's it. V'amar Rav Oshia le Rabba. So says Rav Oshia to Rabba, ki azalt kamed Rav Chasta le Kafri. When you go to Rav Chasta to Kafri, right? He comes. This is the name of a place. Ba minei. So he comes and you have to ask him what's the halacha. Ask him what's the halacha. So kiyata le Surah. So when he came to Surah, Amar le Rav Amnuna, says Rav Amnuna, matnitini. It's our Mishnah. The Mishnah says safek bechorot. Right? That means you have a case of a safek bechorot. That means we don't know if there was a bechor that was born beforehand or not. That's the pshat safek bechorot. Echad bechor adam. So for example, let's say it was maybe the woman, she already had a pala beforehand, she had a miscarriage. And therefore we don't know if it's petar rechem or not. Right? Ve'echad bechor be'ema, or whether it's an animal. Ben teorim ben tmin, doesn't matter whether it's safek bechor be'ema teorah, right? Which is safek mamon kohen, or safek peter chamor, right? Which you have to actually come and you have to redeem it with a seh, right? And then for it's safek mamon kohen, right? In all the cases, hamotzi mechavero alav raya, which means Rav Amnuna is coming and saying that the kavanah is that if the kohen comes and he takes it out of the hand of the Israel, right? He comes and he says, so what happens is alav lavi et raya. But if the kohen already grabbed it, al Yisrael lavi raya, meaning whoever is muhzak, the other person has to bring the raya. So one more time. The kohen now comes and he wants to collect it. It's a safek mamon, it belongs to the kohen. He has to bring a raya that it's his. Why? We have a doubt. Maybe it's his, maybe it's not his. What happens if the kohen already grabbed it? This is called takfo kohen. The kohen came and he grabbed it. Now the halacha is b'diuk kafuch. Now we, meaning the person that it was grabbed from, has to bring a proof to the kohen, right? Meaning that before it just switched now, right? Which is again the incredible concept that we're learning, right? And this is what we were mentioning just 3 seconds ago. The entire concept that the second that you take something and this is yours, that's it. Now again, we're not talking about a utensil that this was 500 and this is 499. We're not talking about that. We're talking about that it's the exact same thing, whether it's money with money, right? Or it's something that I'm coming and I'm taking my loan. I come and I see this is the $500 there. You owe me the $500. I come and I take it. Here, there's a safek whether it's mine or not. I'm a kohen. I come and I tell you, you just had this animal. Give it to me. He says, no, it's a safek. Bring me the proof. But now in another case, all of a sudden a kohen came and he grabbed it. Now all of a sudden what happens? Now I have to bring him the proof. Yes. I have to bring my proof to the kohen. Meaning the kohen is the one that's muhzak now. Whoever is the one that has it, it's incumbent upon the other person to come and to bring the raya. Okay? Clear until here. This is exactly what we were saying a few minutes ago. Okay? So he says, V'tani Allah. So now, right, we come and we're going to learn on this. Asurim begiza v'avodah. Now in any of these cases, a safek bechorot, right, it says that it's going to be a sur, whether it's giza or avodah. What does that mean? You're not allowed to shear the wool, or you're not allowed to work it. Why? There's a safek in the kiddushat of the bechor, which means doesn't matter who's muhzak over here, but it doesn't matter exactly. It's a safek. So since it's a safek, we're not allowed to shear the wool, right? And we're not allowed to come and to make it to do work. It's a safek bechor. Again, if it's a vadai bechor, for sure not, right? It's a safek, right? It's even if it's a safek, okay? Now here we're going to come and we're going to say takfo kohen, if right now the kohen comes and he's going to be tokef, he's going to grab it away, en motzin oto miyado, tiktanya motzin mechavero riyah. Because again, motzin mechavero riyah. He says v'chi lo tokfo, right? And even if you did not grab it, right? What do we say? Asurim begizav v'avodah. It's still going to be asur begizav v'avodah, which means there is a koach of ekdesh to fall on something, even though you did not grab it. Meaning, even without tkifa, again, one more time. Our case of the Mishnah, we always have to go back to the Mishnah. The case of the Mishnah was two people come and they're grabbing onto something. Each one says it's 100% theirs. Now, what happens is somebody comes and he says, Hegdesh. Now, he doesn't have the full thing. He doesn't have it. So it's not that he's takaf. He just makes it Hegdesh. So beforehand, we brought down a safek. Does it have to be that you have to first be muhsak and then you can make something Hegdesh? Because they learn it from Bayatol that just like Bait, it's his reshut. So too this has to be his reshut in order to make it Hegdesh. Or no? Do we say that since when he says it, it goes to Hashem, so immediately the second that he says that, it goes to Hashem and therefore it's Hegdesh. So here we're trying to bring a proof that even if he was not muhsak, he still is able to make it Hegdesh and therefore you're not allowed to use it. So says the Gemara, Elmaleh Rabba comes and he says, no. Kedushat Bechor kamarta. Are you talking about Kedushat Bechor? He says, Leolam iman lecha. Really, I'm going to tell you it's different. Takfo kohen motziin oto miyado. Maybe I'm going to say the opposite. If he grabs it, you do take it out. Va'afilu achen. Even with that, it's still going to be asurim begizav avada. Even with that, right? Why? Tikdusha ba me'elea shani. Because here I have a special din. The special din is that this is a kedusha that's chal on its own, even without the zechut of the kohen coming and taking it. So therefore, even if I'm going to say that it doesn't help whether he grabbed it or he doesn't grab it, it doesn't matter, right? Why? It's always a sumi safek. So if don't bring me a proof that at a filu beli takfa kohen, it's still going to be no. It's always going to be, even if he would have to give it back, it doesn't matter, right? Why? Because at the end of the day, this is a kedusha which comes mimela. So says the Gemara. Okay, fine. Let's continue then. Elmaleh Rav Chananya le Rabba. Says Rav Chananya to Rabba. Tanya demsaya le'alecha. Right? We have a braita which is going to bring a proof to you. Hasfekot. Yeah, we're talking about now a tle. A tle, which basically they come and they redeemed it. Okay? And they redeemed it with a safek of a pitre chamor, of a peter chamor. Remember it says, v'chol peter chamor tifde beseh. Okay? Because if it's going to be a bechor be'emat teorah, it goes to the kohen. If it's a peter chamor, tifde beseh. Okay? So he comes and he says, nichnasin ledid. It goes in with the other tlaim of the Israel, litaser, to separate maaser. V'isar kadayna, if you're going to tell me now takfo kohen, en motziin miyado, if you're going to tell me now that you don't take it away from him, why does it go into the dir to take off from maaser? Right? He's got the kohen has a tzad zechut in it, and therefore, if somebody's going to come and if one of them is going to come out and they're going to make it maaser, it comes out that this is going to be poter mamono with the mamon of a kohen, right? Because again, he's separating an animal which is safek mamon kohen on the other animals. So therefore, obviously, it's muchach from here, like Rabba, that if the kohen grabs it, you take it away from him. Yeah? So Elmaleh Abaye comes and he says, Im mishumha, right? If it's because of this, lo tesayeh lemor. Right? It's not going to help you. Hacham ma'eskina, what are we dealing with? Kegon, for example, deletle ella tish'a vehu. The Israel only has 9 tlaim, which he didn't take off maaser, and this tle, which is a safek of a pidyon peter chamor. So in such a case, anyway, his money, it's not going to be poter, right, with the mamon of the kohen. Timanavshach, ibar chiyuvahu, if be'emet the Israel is chayav to take off maaser, right, which is basically, if you're going to say that it's not going to be peter chamor, and the say that he actually separated is not pidyon of peter chamor, so it comes out that now he's got 10, and now he's taking off 1. So then it's perfect. Shoshapir kamaser, so if he's taking off maaser. Vilav bar chiyuvahu, and if it's not going to be chayav, so then tisha lav bar asurininu. So he doesn't have to take off maaser. So Abaye now comes and he says, Hadar Amar Abaye. Then Abaye retracted, and he says, Nav min ta'idamre. He says that which I just said right now, because again, this is Abaye talking. That Abaye just said that we're talking about 9, and then if it's going to be, he says, no, it's not. Why? For sure, there's a proof to Rabbah, right, from the Braita of Maaser Be'ema, that Takfa Kohen, we do take it out of his hands. Just like Rav Chananya. Right? Why? Because if it's going to help the Tfisa, it comes out that the Tlaim are considered Safek Mamon Kohen, even before he grabs it. The Sfeika Lav Barisurehu. Because he says, because it's Safek, you cannot come and you're not Chayav in a Safek. You're not Chayav Maaser. That means you're never going to be Chayav Maaser on a Safek. The Tran was we learned in our Mishnah, Kafat Secha Min HaMenuyin Letochan. Right? Imagine right now, right, somebody's taking off Maaser of Tlaim. So he starts coming and counting them. And before he counts the 10th, Kafat Echad Min HaMenuyin Letocham. One of the ones that he already counted went back inside. Right? So imagine, you've got over here coming out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Before you get to 10, one of those 7 that you just counted went back inside. Yeah, it went back inside. And it got mixed up with everything else. So he says, right, and you don't know which one's which. Kulam peturim. All of them are going to be peturim from Maaser. Whether the ones that came out or the ones that came in. Right? So he comes and he says, right, because basically every single one is going to be a safek, whether it's patur already or not. Yeah? Yeah, imagine. Yeah, it becomes...
That's a trick, yeah, you can do it.
Okay, but listen, that's the way it is. There's a lot of tricks of how to get out of Maaser. But 1 minute, right? But this is the concept. Now says the Gemara, Isal kadaitach sfeika ba'esure. Now if you're going to tell me that even on a safek you have to take off Maaser, so la'aser mimanashach. So then take off Maaser. Why? Mimanashach you should take off Maaser. De'i bar chiyuvahu, as if it's going to be chayav. So good, you took off Maaser. Ve'i lav bar chiyuv, and even if it's not, niftar b'minyan ra'ui. So just do it with a minyan. Make it patur from the 10, which was fitting to count, right? To be part of the Maaser. So even if at the end it did not come to Klal Maaser, right? What's the problem? Ta'amar Rava, minyan ra'ui poter. Anything which is going to be in a way which is going to get to Maaser is going to be patur, even if at the end it did not get to Maaser. So he says, Elamai lecha lemeimar. So what are you going to tell me then? Asiri v'daya manachmana. Velo asiri misafek. When we have, there's a special din in Maaser. And the special din of Maaser is that it's only when it's an asiri v'dai do you have to actually come and you have to separate. Not an asiri safek. Yeah? It's only an asiri v'dai, not an asiri safek. Okay? Very, very important. Okay? So says the Gemara, Hachanami, so to here, asiri v'dai marachmana velo asiri safek. Which means, so to here with the safek of pidyon peter chamor, you don't have to take it a safek. Right? We don't take off a safek of a maaser because manashach, but the Torah says asiri v'dai, and not asiri safek.